NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time. The Cedars is a great restaurant with outstanding Mediterranean food. The Cedars takeout menu is second to none, featuring pizza, stromboli, hoagies, their famous lamb on the rod, and so much more. So when you're hungry and you want that Newcastle taste, make it Cedars. Now with 2 locations in Newcastle, 827 Addis Street on the east side and 1101 Highland Avenue. Call Cedars East 724-658-9260 or Cedars North 724-652-7657. RNA Screen Printing Newcastle is the place to go for signs, shirts, hats, vinyl lettering, embroidery, magnets, vehicle lettering, banners, window decals, and they can put your design on many items. They have decals for vehicles and signs for all your advertising needs. Great selection of sizes and styles of regular or glitter t-shirts. RNA can iron on a logo while you wait and can do any school logo. RNA Screen Printing, 1217 Moravia Street, Newcastle, open Monday through Friday 9 to 4. Call 724-652-2241.
The Beanery Depot and Deli. Coffee, made-to-order subs, snacks, and more. Meatball sandwiches, fresh and hot. Pepperoni rolls, fish sandwiches, chicken, milkshakes. The Beanery Deli. When you're hungry for something special, and it won't cost you a lot of beans.
Welcome to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. I'm Alex DeLaverson, and with me is Greg, the mad scientist, Fichero, and we are back in action, ready to talk some NFL draft and maybe some baseball. Greg, how's it going? It's been a while.
It has been a while. I've been on the road quite a bit, and it's good to be back in good old Newcastle.
Absolutely, and speaking of good old Newcastle, we had probably the biggest thing to happen to this city as far as being put on the map in quite some time with Malik Hooker, former Newcastle High School football player, being drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. I know a lot of teams had him, or a lot of mock drafts had him going to the Chargers, at least the Jets, but even though he slipped a few spots, I think he ended up in a great position in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Malik Hooker, what a story, number one. I mean, here's a guy that played basketball, was on the championship team with Ralph Blendo, terrific kid. I mean, he's actually a young man right now, but just a terrific guy. Humble. Never thought that he was going to be playing football, but it's that concept of basketball and the speed that the NFL is going toward that is needed in basketball that basically got him into the football. And he's actually, I mean, he was a tremendous football player at Ohio State. He only started 1 full season at Ohio State, but Urban Meyer just loved the guy, and his stats proved such where, hey, he could come out and do this, and just a complete tribute to his work ethic, and actually I think to the work ethic of a lot of the people in the Newcastle area. This area itself, everybody from Bruce Clark back in the day up to Malik Hooker today, and even if you go up north, guys like Mike Archie up from Sharon, PA, that made it. They were very successful in the NFL. It is this blue-collar work ethic that has translated into something absolutely fantastic in the NFL, and I think he's going to be a fantastic pickup over there. The Colts need a very strong defensive end, and this is where Malik Hooker falls into that play.
Absolutely, and I think one of the most interesting things is that when Malik Hooker was being interviewed after he got selected by the Colts, he was saying that growing up, the Colts were one of his favorite teams. He was a big fan of Joseph Adai, and even though he didn't expect to maybe go to number 15, being drafted by one of his favorite teams growing up has to be a very special feeling. And even though the first round picks, obviously, you make more money the earlier you're selected. The richest guys in the NFL right now did not get rich off of their first contract. They get rich after their second contract. So often we see players get drafted really early, and especially unfortunately by the Cleveland Browns, and after that first contract, their careers just really spiral downhill. So I don't think it's the worst thing really to be drafted higher, at a higher pick in the first round or anything like that.
To be a number one pick in the NFL is something. I mean, I don't care if you pick number 15th or number 30th. To be a number one pick in the NFL is truly a tribute to the caliber of the player that's in the draft itself. Malik Hooker was by far the best of the best in his position. And the Colts have a quality product. I understand he has an agent. He's doing well. I would love to have him here on the show today, but apparently he's in Indianapolis right now. But if anybody from the Hooker family, Malik's family, or if you're watching this, get in touch with us. We'd love to sit down and have a chat with you here, and because it's truly a special time for the city of Newcastle.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you on our show, and what better way to give back to the city of Newcastle than being on your city's main radio show and TV show. My apologies. We're going to have to edit that out, put in the blooper section. But
I always said he's had a face for radio.
Yeah. Well, it could be internet radio and TV show. Depends what we put it on. But either way, when we come back, what we could talk about is some of the Steelers selections, their draft picks, and a great story with James Conner going to the Steelers.
James Conner, also some really good backstory stuff about T.J. Watt, the number one pick that went to the Steelers, and also some stuff, some interesting stuff and some backstories about this Juju Smith-Schuster from USC. So stay tuned. We'll be coming right back at you.
And a word from our sponsors.
Come to Big Polly's Sports Bar in Newcastle.
The place is spacious with all the seating you'll need, with 2 bars and a huge menu that features wings, pizza, sandwiches, burgers, pasta, and fries.
Big Polly's
is just right to watch the game. You'll love the sports memorabilia throughout the bar. There's plenty of parking too.
Big Polly's Sports Bar
in Newcastle at 207 East Long Avenue. Call 724-658-8800. That's 658-8800. Gentlemen, if you want to look your best with high-quality clothing, then I recommend Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle. Mike Caggiano is the owner, and he and his staff have been in the business for decades, and they will always give you the right recommendations. They also carry Rondinelli tuxedos. That's Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors, 210 East Washington Street, downtown Newcastle. Call 724-652-3851.
Welcome back to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. We are going to talk about some Pittsburgh Steelers draft selections this segment, talk about a great story in James Conner, and I think this was a good draft for regional athletes. We even had a couple football players from YSU get drafted, one to the New England Patriots in the 3rd round, so that was very interesting too. But to me, the biggest story, other than Malik Hooker, I should say, would be James Conner being drafted by the hometown Pittsburgh Steelers after a cancer diagnosis.
Yeah, James Conner is truly an inspirational kid. Originally, he is from Erie, Pennsylvania. Spent all 4 years at the University of Pittsburgh. Diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Went through chemotherapy while still playing football at the University of Pittsburgh. This guy, he actually goes through Children's Hospital and actually works with the kids at Children's Hospital that have really horrible diagnoses to basically, lift their spirits and to give people a lot of hope. This guy is number one. I mean, he truly is a good soul. He has a tremendous work ethic itself. And when asked when he was at the University of Pittsburgh after he had a monstrous, senior year, he said, well, he was only about 60% because of the cancer treatments. I mean, this is truly a player that this is blue-collar work ethic, number one. This guy, if you look up blue-collar work ethic in the encyclopedia, you're going to see a picture of James Conner, because this is, he knows no stop. I mean, he's just truly 110% on the go. Will truly be a fantastic player for the Steelers, I believe. Let's just hope and pray that the cancer is behind him and that he can continue to live his life in good health.
I agree 100%. And going in the third round, that alone is special. Being drafted by the hometown Pittsburgh Steelers, that's just the icing on the cake, in my opinion. And I think overall, looking at the Steelers draft, I think most people are pretty optimistic. I think, though, a lot of people were expecting maybe a corner being taken in the first round. Me personally, I'm happy with T.J. Watt. This is a guy who started out as a tight end under Paul Chryst at Wisconsin, transitioned to linebacker, and although he only had one full season at linebacker at Wisconsin, he had a monster season, 11.5 sacks in the Big Ten, All-American. I wonder if the Steelers could maybe go the route of like a Mike Vrabel with him and use him on offense for some trick plays.
I think that's that could be the possibility here too. Now, a little bit about T.J. Watt. He is the younger brother of J.J. Watt. If the Watt name sounds familiar, there's a football pedigree here. This guy, one of the drawbacks about T.J. Watt is he only has one good year of work at the University of Wisconsin because he was injured in his previous year. Mm-hmm. So with that stated, that he was drafted based upon the body of work that he did. Now, that body of work that he did was absolutely phenomenal. So I really believe that the Steelers have the real deal in T.J. Watt, and he did fall right where he needed to fall into the Steelers' lap itself. So I think he will be a fantastic player. Definitely with a work ethic that embodies the Steeler team itself. So the second round pick that the Steelers picked up, though, was quite curious.
I agree.
The Steelers have become wide receiver central, sort of like the way John Gruden would draft quarterbacks all the time down there in Tampa Bay. Now we've got the Steelers drafting wide receivers, which caused a little bit of controversy between Sammy Coates and Martavius Bryant. The two are kind of tweeting back at each other here as far as what's going on. Maybe it's a good thing. I'm not sure.
Well, from what I understand, it was just two friends busting each other's chops on social media. It wasn't really the way the media initially portrayed it as two guys going at each other. It's just two buddies, joking around on Twitter. But you see how easy it is for the media to really blow things out of proportion. But nonetheless, though, I do like the group of receivers the Steelers have. Brown, Bryant, Sammy Coates, of course, he can be really hit or miss. He can have a great game, drop a few passes, but either way, I think they're set for the long run there in Pittsburgh at the wideout position.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, we got a speed guy in this Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver out of USC. We're talking about speed. We're talking about hands. And what really cost the Steelers in that championship game was the fact that we had Sammy Coates out there whose hands were all bandaged up to begin with, and he couldn't catch anything. This is going to be a very, very good addition to the Steelers right now.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take another break, and when we get back, maybe talk some Pirates baseball. But thank you for tuning in so far, and now a word from our sponsors.
If you're craving hot dogs and more, and you're in the area, then look no farther than Coney Island, downtown Newcastle on Kennedy Square.
Jim Micco and Sons, 347 East Washington Street in Newcastle, can service a lot of your lawn equipment. It's jimmickoandsons.com, their website, and you can email them at jimmickoandsons@verizon.net. Their phone number, 724-652-6911. Proud sponsors of community television in Newcastle.
The Branding Iron Bar and Grill, a great place to gather.
Some examples from the menu: 45-cent jumbo wings with 30 different kinds of sauce, meatball sub and fries, $5.50, hot cheese balls and burgers, and delicious large sandwiches. Stop in during happy hour, 4:30 to 7:30. You can dine in or take out. The Branding Iron Bar and Grill is located at 2221 Ben Franklin Highway, Edinburgh. Call 724-658-1210.
Welcome back to the Cedars Sports Corner, everybody. We are now going to talk some Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. It's been football mode here the last week, and understandably so, but the Pirates have had a pretty interesting season up until this point. Greg, you have a lot of things to say about this ball club. What can you tell us?
Well, you know what? I hear a lot of people calling for the manager's head. And Clint Hurdle is truly one of the best managers in this game. You cannot, and I understand people's frustrations about this particular team. The team underperformed last year. The team could have done much better. We were dealing with Andrew McCutcheon's slump. We were dealing with Jung Ho Gung's problems that he had out in Chicago. There were a lot of things that were happening. We had a total meltdown of John Locke last year. Pitching just kind of went to the tank. So I could understand where the Pirates, kind of fell apart. And everybody was hoping that the Pirates could come out of the gate, swinging, the old lumber company and McCutcheon's return. And we were hoping that there would be a lot of good things. Now, a couple major setbacks right now is the fact that Jung Ho Gung is still stuck in South Korea after his third drunk driving conviction. And if you think that the drunk driving laws are tough here in the U.S., over in South Korea, they're ready to lock this guy up. It's really, really a tough situation for him. I really don't know if we'll see Jung Ho Gung before the All-Star break, to be honest with you guys. Mm-hmm. But Starling Marte was a very, very tough blow to this particular team. Nandrolo, come on, which is an old school steroid. This even predates Barry Bonds. My God. But with all that said, he tested positive for this back during the World Baseball Classic, which was back during spring training. So the Pirates kind of knew what was going on. Now, a couple big things on the horizon here, and all you diehard Bucco fans know this. We got a great utility guy in Gift Nagope. From South Africa. I think this guy is going to be the journeyman that they're looking for at second base. He's got an excellent glove. All he has to work on is his batting. But if he can do the singles and the doubles and at least get on base, he will be a true, quote, gift, for lack of a better term, to the Pirate team. But a couple of bright spots that I've been seeing on this particular team right now is Garrett Cole, absolutely fantastic pitcher right now. Jameson Taillon, what an ace. The two young guys right now are really lighting it up, and they've got a third ace that nobody ever thought of when they got him in the trade last year, Ivan Nova. I saw this guy light things up at the end of last year, walked, 3 people at the end of last year, and that was it. The guy doesn't walk anybody. It's absolutely fantastic. His ERA is minuscule right now, and he's lighting it up right now for this particular team. And he signed a 3-year contract because he loves playing in Pittsburgh. So I really see a good nucleus of, we can get Tyler Glass now to get over the yips and to kind of start focusing here. I really think that the Pirates will be at least a wild card team this year.
Absolutely, and I think that's what everyone's hoping for at the very least, especially after last year's disappointing season. I think the other big story that's in everyone's mind right now is the Andrew McCutcheon saga. Greg, is this saga going to come to an end anytime soon, or is this something that the Pirates organization and McCutcheon drag their feet on? What's going to happen?
Andrew McCutcheon's going to be a Pirate. Andrew McCutcheon loves this team. He plans to stay with this team. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He has everything to prove and everything to lose in this scenario right now. And as we've seen, his average is actually ahead of where it was last year at this particular time. And we're going to see a return of a premier ball player again. It's like anything else. He had a down season. He's putting his head together. He's got things. He's back in center field again because of what happened with Starling Marte. They had to shift people around. He's in the catbird seat, for lack of a better term, to quote James Thurber. So let's see what he can do as far as getting to prove his naysayers wrong. But I really think he will be part and parcel of getting the Pirates back to where they need to be.
We here in Newcastle sure hope so, and everyone in the Pittsburgh region. But that's all we have here today for the Cedars Sports Corner. It's great to be back. We had a very productive week here in Newcastle with the Malik Hooker story. So many things are coming together, and I'm just really looking forward to doing the show moving forward. And again, thank you for tuning in, and all of you have a wonderful day.
This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. Funding for this program provided by Washington Center Physical Therapy, Norm A. Gabriel, MSPT, ATC owner.